Have you heard of a little thing called Discord? Well, if you haven't, let me inform you. Discord is an amazing app where you can interact with gaming communities and content creators such as myself more directly. It's an app that is just great for community building. I'm one of the owners of a Kingdom Hearts Discord server called The Union. We've been growing rapidly lately and are a little over halfway to 1,000 members. Thank you guys for that. If you don't have an account, it takes like less than a minute to make one. So create an account and join the Union Discord server today to get a chance to talk to some of the members of the community and its creators as well. I really look forward to seeing you guys there. Now let's get on with the video. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube and its Prodigy, and welcome to another video on the channel. Today, guys, we are going to be talking about more Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMIND. Some more interview information has come out, and in this interview, he specifically talks a lot about the story. He answers some of the same questions he has before in my previous video, but most of everything here is new information or new comments from him, from his perspective. So I'm going to just cut to the chase and get right into it because this interview is a decent bit longer than the last one, and I don't know how much I'm going to be rambling, so I just want to get right into it. So let's begin. Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMIND, which was announced prior to Square Enix Live E3 2019, received great responses. What is the meaning behind this title? I often receive notifications from the PR staff that say reminder. It means reconfirm, but it also means I am being reminded to respond to them. Laughs. The meaning of what I just mentioned and the double meaning are the same. It means remind, reconfirmation, reclaim the heart, and so forth. So he kind of said the same thing in the last video, the last interview. So continuing, in the logo between Re and Mind, there is a unfamiliar mark. I think the meaning changes whether you connect or disconnect between them. In the past, I have often used Re, but I wanted to cut the background with a more meaningful symbol. And when I decided to convey something with one symbol, I thought that the musical symbols Vide and Coda were appropriate based on those meanings. I hope you all will think about it in various ways. I don't really know how to think about that, to be honest with you. It's kind of just one of those nice to know things. Continuing though, Riku, Aqua, and Roxas being playable was a nice surprise. Are those scenes from the Limit Cut episode where you can fight against the most powerful enemies? Actually, they are not. This video mainly consists of elements included in the additional scenario rather than the Limit Cut itself. Sora's Oathkeeper Keyblade and the new form shown at the end of the video are free DLC and will be simultaneously released with the paid DLC. Oh, so the additional scenario is where they're playable? Similar to how you'd play as Riku and Aqua in the main story, there will be stages in the additional scenario where you can select which character you like to choose. That sounds really cool. I really hope that maybe we're able to pick as Kairi or Xion or Axel even. I think that would be really cool, though I'm not expecting it. I think that would just be a really nice touch, because otherwise basically what they're saying here is they're only going to be able to pick between either Sora and Aqua or Sora and Riku or Sora and Roxas and no one else. Hopefully you're able to play as some of the other characters, because that would add even a lot more variety to those fights and make those fights even more impactful than they already are. But it doesn't need to happen. I'm just throwing that idea out there. They seem to resemble battles that took place near the end of the main story. Yes, they currently do. The additional scenarios are independent, so you will be able to enjoy this content after clearing the main story. Okay, so did they just pseudo-confirm data battles then, or revisits of the Keyblade graveyard fights? Because when they say they resemble battles that took place near the end of the main story, they're talking about obviously the Keyblade graveyard fights, and Nomura also says here, so you will be able to enjoy this content after clearing the main story. So does that mean that there's going to be some battle portal there where I can revisit these scenes and like play as these characters? Because if so, that's really cool. I love that. Hopefully they do that for all of the organization fights. That sounds so amazing. I cannot wait. So this is crazy because that means that this is technically, if we're going off of what he's saying here, this is completely separate from the 13 bosses he talked about in the last interview, because this is all part of the additional scenario, not the limit cut episode, which is the episode that's going to feature close to as many bosses as Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. That sounds really cool. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Then the scenes with the Master of Masters and young Xehanort, as well as that of Luxord and Xigbar, must also be from the additional scenario. That's right, the conversation between Luxord and Xigbar will take place at the beginning of the additional scenario. We're referring to it as an additional scenario because there are quite a lot of cutscenes. The scenario was rerun twice and it grew substantially by the final draft. The sheer volume exceeded our expectations. I'd assume that additional scenario means, I guess, add-ons to the story, similar to how previous Kingdom Hearts games with final mixes during the main story. Sometimes even after the main story, they added like extra little cutscenes. Like in Kingdom Hearts 1, you had cutscenes with Riku and Hollow Bastion like way at the beginning of the game, before you even knew or thought about traveling to Hollow Bastion. You barely even traveled to any Disney worlds at that point, and we saw Riku there in Final Mix exclusively. Kingdom Hearts 2 also had some exclusive cutscenes that alluded to Birth by Sleep a lot in Final Mix during the main story, where Xemnas like looks at Aqua's Keyblade armor, and those scenes are really cool. So what I am confused on is if some of these scenes are in the main story, or if like when he says he means they're going to be available after, he means obviously outside of the boss fights. This is talking about cutscenes. If he means like simply in the theater mode, you'll be able to rewatch these if you really want to. I wonder if like the people who have already been in Kingdom Hearts 3, if they will simply just get these cutscenes, you know, added to their theater mode instead of like having to replay the game to unlock them. I don't know, there's a little bit of confusion as to what exactly the additional scenario is, but whatever it is looking really promising. By the way, about Demyx, here we go. Well, he's coming. Okay. I saw Kingdom Hearts Twitter go crazy over this, speculating how they think he might be the Master of Masters. Some people saying they don't want him to be the Master of Masters. I have my own opinions on this. I've been saying this for months now, but I don't really know if I want Demyx to be the Master of Masters. It's not really a want, but I guess you can say I don't care if he is or not. Well, I do care, don't care. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like, me preferably, I would want the Master of Masters to be his own original character, and have Demyx, of course, be his own original character. He can have the key backstory be a old Keyblade wielder who was in Scarlet Kylam, who trained some young Keyblade wielders, or was trained by an older Keyblade wielder in Scala or Daybreak Town. It doesn't matter there what he was doing. Same with Luxord. But I would rather him and the Master be their own separate characters, but at the same time, he surprised me with the Luxu reveal and the epilogue reveal, and that was way different because it had a lot of build up to it, and I don't see as much build up for the Master of Masters because honestly, it was speculated from the beginning that Xigbar knew a lot more than he let on. There hasn't been that same thing with Demyx. Demyx has kind of always come off as that goofy, lovable kid that like you would see next door. He doesn't really come off as the leader of all Keyblade wielders type of person. And I feel like no matter how they execute Demyx being the Master of Masters partially, that feeling won't really go away, because even if he's the Master of Masters, we're still going to think about the scenes that happened before. There aren't really any indications that would make you think he would be. And also, the only reason some people think he is the Master of Masters is because he's a goofy person, and the Master is also a goofy person. Well, another thing this could mean, when he said he's coming, I think that could also simply mean that he is going to be in the DLC when he says he's coming, and maybe everyone's overthinking it on Twitter by saying, oh, Nomura, you sly fox, they're trying to tease at him being the Master of Masters, like looking too deep into it. But you can't blame us for doing that by any means. But he could simply just mean he's going to be in the additional scenario, or he's going to be in the Limit Cut episode, and we're going to find out what he's doing there. Hey, maybe the Master of Masters reveal as Demyx could happen in the Limit Cut episode. I don't know. that's a relief. Laughs. I'm very glad we're getting limit cut. I can't disclose much about the limit cut bosses, but we're aiming for the same number as last time, Kingdom Hearts 2 FM, which I already read last time in my last video, and this is really exciting because they're aiming for the same amount of bosses as they are in 2 FM, and the fact that this is all in the same interview just proves that we might be getting like to be able to refight the orc fights also in Kingdom Hearts 3, like through the additional scenario. And on top of that, we're also going to be able to have new bosses, potentially new bosses. Maybe these could be the data fights that he's talking about right here. Additionally, new bosses in the Limit Cut episode. That sounds so cool to me, and I cannot wait. I'm not going to have my expectations super high. I'm not one to get disappointed by Kingdom Hearts, to be honest. I usually love Kingdom Hearts for what it is, but if this is like what I'm thinking, if I've read everything correctly, if these limit cut bosses are separate from the Roxas, Aqua, and Riku fights that are going to be replayable apparently post game, then that's really cool, because that just means we have more bosses technically to fight post game, and that's so cool, man. Like, Nomura, thank you so much. Thank you. And then they respond similar to last time. Wow, that many? Definitely more than expected. Besides the additional scenario and limit cut episode with bosses, the secret episode has a boss as well, so the volume of DLC should be sufficient. So we're getting a lot of bosses, and we're going to be getting a lot of story. Holy crap, I wonder how much is in this DLC. It's kind of scaring me, honestly, because if Nomura's about to hit us with a truckload of content for the DLC at the end of the year, then I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. Like, I'm gonna be so happy. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to contain myself. But this is the last part right here, and the interview last time also ended off in a similar way, and this is them just basically saying that the DLC is going to be slated for winter, and they're going to try to release it before Final Fantasy VII Remake. And that is it for the full version of this interview. It's nice that there was a lot more information in this, a lot more context to certain things. Though that's going to be it for today's video. I really do appreciate all of you guys coming out and supporting the content as of late. It really does mean like the world to me that you guys like sit here and watch my videos the way you guys do. You guys are so supportive, so loving and friendly, like in the Discord server as well. Like, we're really forming like a great community here on the channel, and you guys are helping me do that by like staying positive, staying respectful in the comment section. And it sounds like something so simple, like it's common sense to be respectful and be nice in the comment section, but I still feel a need to thank you guys for it anyways, because I know sometimes when we get into these big video game discussions, debates and stuff, sometimes we can go a little overboard and become a little too passionate about what we're talking about, and it leads to certain words slipping out that we don't mean to say to offend someone. But it just makes this YouTube thing, interacting with people on Twitter and in the Discord server, a lot more enjoyable when everyone is kind and respectful and knows how to talk to each other. I like that. But anyways though, enough of the mushy stuff. If you enjoyed today's video, first, comment down below what you thought. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think about this DLC? What are you most excited for? Do you guys think this DLC is going to top whatever Kingdom Hearts 2 did or Kingdom Hearts 1 did, Birth by Sleep, whatever final mixes we have out? Do you think it's going to top that? Do you think this DLC is going to be worth the wait? How excited are you for it? Answer all those questions and more in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, but of course, keep it respectful. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red little subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.